Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. They continue to rule very well. Shalom to the whole elect that is also diligently pushing forth this word, conducting this ministry in all faith, true sincerity, and giving all diligence. Now, on the topic of this video is going to be entitled, "What is adultery?" And the reason why I'm going into this is because we have a guy by the name of G-Man who made a statement saying that concerning Abraham and Sarah, that Sarah gave Abraham permission to commit adultery, and which that's not what adultery is. All right, because back in the ancient world, we had a custom, and us talking about the Hebrew Israelites, who today consist of the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which that's your true nationality. We had a custom and a heritage back then to where us the men of our nation can deal with as many wives as we want. All right, and not only that, on top of having as many wives as we want, we can also deal with women of other nations and have them as our concubines. All right, that's how we dealt with the woman back in the ancient world, right? In which, if you do that today, society looks down on you for doing that. All right, throwing your name in the dirt and basically demeaning you, deriding you, and defaming you, speaking all manner of evil against you, man. Even among our own people, they look at that as looked down upon, man, because really our people has been in America for too long, man. All right, they've been westernized. See, that's a Western mentality to think like that. All right, that's why you have to bring your mind back to the East. I'm talking to you, you Israelites. All right, to the Eastern mentality. All right, because the Western mentality ultimately leads to death and confusion. All right, but going back into the topic at hand, G-Man, is pretty much he's losing it, man. The Most High is sending them strong delusions, man. All right. See, how about Shimon Shah is working on this guy's mind? I mean, if you've been observing this man G-Man, right? He has been losing his mind, man, over the Hebrew Israelites. Cause see, the Lord is messing them up. All right. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into the scriptures. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 10. This is the law on adultery. All right. You can look everywhere in the law if you want, and you'll clearly see that adultery is when you lay with another man's woman, another man's wife. It's not when you have multiple wives or concubines. All right, it's when you lay with another man's wife. That's adultery. Okay. Now, this is verse 10. It says, "And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death." All right, so you got the law and the judgment in the same verse. All right, you commit adultery with another man's wife, then the judgment is death. Okay, that's plain and that's simple and that's to the point, man. I mean, you could just read this one precept and just end the video right then and there, but I mean, some guys it takes more chiseling, for lack of a better term, more chiseling in that rock head of theirs to get the point or to understand. And the reason why we do this is for the whole elect. We're not doing this for the regular, Joey six-pack, Jake, or Jake that's off the streets, man. We don't do that. We don't do this for you, man. We're doing it for the ones that are sincere and that's looking for the truth. All right, who is of the hopeful elect. All right. So let's go from there, and I'm gonna grab one example of adultery, and it should be in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 7, if I'm not mistaken. So 2 Samuel chapter 12 verse 7, it says, and Nathan said to David, which Nathan the prophet said to David, thou art the man. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the power of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. And I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. All right. So he said, look, I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives unto thy bosom, man. All right. And he was saying, if this was too little for you, if this wasn't enough for you, then I would have, gladly given you more than this. All right. Now, verse 9 says, wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword. All right. So there's a reason why David. This is the reason. Or actually, Salaki. Let me rephrase that. Pretty much, David committed adultery, and this what went down. It says, thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. So David had Uriah set up to be killed when they went out to fight against the Ammonites. All right, he was killed, and David took his wife to be his wife. Now that's adultery. All right, that's adultery. That's why he said he's despised the commandment of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. In other words, he committed adultery when he did that, when he committed that act. All right. Verse 10 said, now therefore the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me, and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. All right. So that's one example of adultery. All right. That's physical adultery. Now you have a thing called fornication, in which fornication is spiritual adultery. And you have, these so-called Christians saying that Solomon committed adultery. In other words, they were saying he's committed physical adultery by, having different wives from other nations and, this and that and the third. Well, let's go ahead and get the account. All right. Let's see. 1 Kings. Let's see. No, it's lucky. I'm in the wrong one. You saw 50 shekels. Let me show you how King Solomon rolled. All right, that is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 1. It says, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. So Solomon, he had all kinds of women, man. All right. Solomon was getting busy, man. All right. Yeah, it also said right here, it said the Edomites. Oh, so he had a so-called white woman. All right. See, man, there's nothing wrong with having women of other nations, man. But there's a way that you're supposed to. How should I put it? They have a certain status when it comes to an Israelite man dealing with a woman of another nation, and I'm about to get there in a minute. Now, this verse 2 says, of the nations concerning which Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. All right. He clave unto their gods, man. All right. That's the reason why the kingdom was rent into the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, because Solomon clave unto the gods of the other nations through the women. Now there's a reason why we have the women of other nations in a certain level, so to speak, for lack of a better term, or on a certain status. And read on, it says, verse 3, it says, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with Yahweh by Shem Yahushai's power, as with the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians. All right, so there you go, man. That's where Solomon went off. He went after the goddess of Ashtoreth, the Zidonians. And reading on, it says, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. Then did Solomon build an high place for Shemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. So he started building temples for these different gods. All right. Because, like I said before, when you deal with a woman of another nation, there's a certain status that they have, and I'm about to get that right now. It should be in the book of Deuteronomy. Let's see. Here it is. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21. And this is at verse 10. It says, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and our enemies are the other nations. All right. And the Lord thy power hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives, all right, which the captives among those other nations, a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails. So if you desire a woman that's of another nation, right? In other words, the spoils of war, all right, or booty, then you bring them back to your house and shave her head, right? She have to shave her head and pare her nails, all right? Now verse 13, it keeps explaining it. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. So after she bewails her father and mother, right, and after that month, then you can go in unto her, and she can be your wife. All right. So that's the law on dealing with a woman of another nation. Because deal with a woman of another nation, in other words, she is your concubine from then on. All right. Now I got the word for concubine, right? And I had the word concubine. Let me pull it up again. All right. It right here in the concubine, it says a woman with whom a man cohabits without being married, as one having a recognized social status in a household below that of a wife. And then right here it says mistress. All right. An unmarried woman who has sex with a man and lives with the man and his wife or wives. See, a concubine has a lower status than a wife. All right. Now let's go back to that same verse again. It says, verse 13, it says that she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in that house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that, thou shalt go in unto her and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. All right. So in this law, that woman is made to a concubine. All right. Because like we read earlier, on the book of 1 Kings chapter 17, where it spoke about thou shalt not give thy sons unto their daughters, and their daughters unto thy sons, for they'll turn away their hearts after their gods. All right. So when you deal with a woman of another nation, she is your concubine. All right. So that's it on that, man. That pretty much shows you that you can deal with women of other nations, man. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, and also shows you that you can have as many, you can have, 100 women, 1,000 women, 2,000 women, and we're gonna get that in the kingdom, man. All right, when we get the kingdom, and we have rulership over the planet Earth along with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, then we're gonna be able to have access to 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 women, however many women as you want, man. All right. But the thing is that as long as that woman is not married to a man already, all right. So if you take a woman that's already married to a man, then that's adultery. All right. Now, you know what, man? That's pretty much on it. That's pretty much it on that, man. Brought out the law about adultery. Showed you that. Oh wait, there's one more. There's this. Oh, but wait, there's more. My man. What's his name? Used to do the commercials. Damn, I can't remember right now. He said, but wait, there's more. All right. Let's get the case of Moses, because guess what? Moses had a woman of another nation. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to remember exactly where it is. It escapes me right now, man. That's Satan. Maybe I'll type in Moses and get the book of Numbers, and we'll probably be able to get it. Maybe if I type in this word, it'll pull up for me. Yeah, that's right. Okay, here it is. All right. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. Now, Ethiopian is of the nation of Ham. All right. That's a Hamite. All right. And Miriam and Aaron, they were coming up against Moses because he had an Ethiopian woman, in which there was nothing wrong with that, man. And the Lord got on them for doing that. All right. So it was okay with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua for Moses to deal with a woman of Ethiopia, a Hamite. All right. So that's just one example, man. All right. Let's see. Yeah, that pretty much does it. So that just goes to show you that, and actually, I got to bring out another precept, man. These precepts are flying off left and right, man. Now, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. It says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So, wait a second. I thought having more than one woman was adultery, G, man. What happened, man? Why is this written in the book of Isaiah 4:1, where it says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man? Isn't that adultery according to you? If that was the case, then the Lord wouldn't even have this put in the book of Isaiah. It would have been how many verses? It would have been just 5 verses in Isaiah, the 4th chapter. But look, you got this verse right here in the very first verse of this book, in chapter 4. It says, "In that day 7 women shall take hold of one man." All right. So once again, you can have as many women as you want, as long as that woman is not married to a man. And as long as that woman don't have another man, then you can deal with her. All right. That's what adultery really is. Okay. That's our custom and that's our heritage, which our people have lost, and they've been westernized, Americanized, and then 2/3 of our people are not going to come back to our heritage. All right. And they're going to die right along with America. That's 2/3 of our people. But with that pretty much ends the lesson. Just going to this milk, which is the basic, man. We have to go back into the basic, because first and foremost, we got to damage control these guys, and and to go over some of the milk for the sincere Akim, the brothers that's just now coming in to learn this. So once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that continue to rule very well. And peace and safety to the hopefully elect that is continually doing his work in all faith, true sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.